And there is young Olav Koy on the right of our shot. Bora Hansgrohe, as I say, a little bit of pressure on them today because they won the Hamburg Cyclassics through Marco Haller, the first of 2 World Tour races in Germany this year. And then they also won Eschborn-Frankfurt back in May through Sam Bennett, of course. That was his big kind of comeback this year with them. So they've won those 2 big World Tour races, and they're looking to see if they can go triple today. This was the sprint for the first of our mountain points today, because you're looking at replayed pictures of our 5 breakaway riders. 2 riders in there for the Bike Aid team, the German team, and it was Sebastian Niehaus, the German, who took points there at the first of our, well, I'm going to call them mountains, hills classification. There they are. Right at the back here, in the colours of the German national team, is Janis Peter, the 21-year-old. Is a very, very young breakaway, this, as you might expect. In the light grey to his right, we're just watching Janis Peter having a little dig, actually, which must mean we're getting a bit closer to the second of those classified climbs. Janis Peter kicking off, and he's being chased down by Sebastian Niehaus in the green there. Yes, it is. So Peter fancies getting himself some more points. As I mentioned, all of the hills classification points are down in the bottom, sort of southeast corner of our big loop today. He's got a bit of a battle on his hands, though, Peter, because he's gone very, very early. Julian Borech is the young German rider, the 20-year-old, who's closed up to him, and it looks like if the line is just around this corner, he might just come round him in time. Borech has also gone hard. A right old battle on between these guys. The riders at the front of this breakaway are certainly not saving their legs at this point, and it is a very predictable breakaway. There's the line. So Julian Borech, I think I called him Yallen or something odd. Julian Borech is going to get that one, the German rider. Borech, I should say. I've said his name in about 3 or 4 different ways now.
This is the last climb coming up. We're not even on the climb. There's over a kilometre to go.
This is the build-up to the Pilatusberg. And taking a flyer is Ole Thaler, as we've seen. We saw him do it the last one as well. He tried this. Let's see if the young German, the teenager, 19-year-old, in the black with the yellow band of Lotto Kernhaus can stay clear. And once again, it looks like Julian Borech is just making his way back up. Borech has done this both times around the Stromberg climb. Waited and waited, and there he is. That must be the top there. The Skoda gantry, and it does look like Thaler is going to hang on this time. He does. Left-hander straight after it. And once again, it's both the Bike Aid riders who've been detached a little bit. This time, along with Janis Peter, the German, riding for the German national team. But there is a difference, actually, in amongst the nature of the build of some of those riders as well. The Czech rider, Josef Černý, is back on the front for Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl, back on the front of our peloton, and still looking to eat a little bit more into those 2 minutes of lead of our 4 riders, but it's still hovering around that point. And as Brian has suggested, it looks like they will survive probably through the next of these, or the final 2 of our 3 sprint points in Sassenberg and Oostbeven. I can't help but think we're going to be seeing a race again where it's about what is the status as we come on to those 3 finishing laps. If you have ideas, ping them our way, won't you? On social, to be interested to see what you think. And he's gone again. Look, here we go. So once again, as we saw at the last sprint point, Ole Thaler has gone very early in the black and yellow of Team Lotto Kernhaus. This is our 4-man breakaway, survivor of what was 5, and before that 6 riders that were clear at one stage, and these are the remaining 4. You would think with 2 riders in there for Bike Aid, one of them would be working a little bit more for the other. It does seem as if Sebastian Niehaus is the strongest, and Jesse de Roy has been closing down things for him as and when he's needed to. And once again, Ole Thaler going very early, and this time he's been a little bit snuffed by Julian Borech, who now opens up, and it's Borech and Thaler alongside each other. Can the Bike Aid boys come round them at all? Actually, it's looking like Ole Thaler is just going to hang on, or is he? Where's that line?
He did?
Yes, he did. 3 Germans and 1 Dutchman in the shape of Jesse de Roy. Here comes the capture. Now let's watch this moment shortly afterwards to see if there are any opportunities for counter-attacks and surging moves off the front to upset the predicted sprint finish. For those of you joining us fairly recently, this is the capture of our race-long breakaway today, and we are now focused very much on the names of Fabio Jakobsen, the European champion for Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl, Sam Bennett, the Irishman for Bora Hansgrohe, winner of one of 2 World Tour events. This is Tim Thorn-Teutenberg on the back there for Germany, the 20-year-old.
Panic.
That's, dear. That is, I think, that's our first crash that we've seen today. It is our first crash we've seen today. Thankfully, he's all right. This is John Noll, the German rider, and he's taken out one of the Jumbo-Vismas. Was that Mick van Dijk there, I think? Tim van Dijk, I should say. I think it's him. Look like him.
It's just the motorbikes trying to get by there on the left-hand side. A bit of a kind of panic. Looks like he ran into the back of the Jumbo-Visma rider.
So Bora Hansgrohe lead across the line for the first time with 3 complete laps to go. That looked to me like Ida Schelling, the Dutchman, leading through the line the first time. And into that sweeping, very tight left-hander if you're going a bit wide there. That's one more rider coming up to the front for Jumbo-Visma.
Frederick Friesen now going for Lotto Soudal, doing what Tim Marsman did just previously, but I think the speed is going to be so high, it's going to be very difficult to stay away. And
this is the final 2 kilometres of the Sparkassen Münsterland Giro right here, and we're building towards one of the best sprint finishes of the year. Real great collection of top sprinting talent and some youngsters who are ready to take the scalps of some of their elder statesmen. Frederick Friesen is hanging on. He's tucked down as best a man of his tall frame can be, and he has 1 rider going across from UAE Team Emirates. He's looking to just bridge the gap. Team DSM just behind as well, looking to see if they can get Sam Welsford into position. A final kilometre. This is John Degenkolb who leads under it, former winner of this race, so experienced of course, and using his power at this stage to just string things out at the front end. Jumbo-Visma still have a couple of riders there, looking for the back wheel of Fabio Jakobsen. I think that's him in the middle there in the white, is it not, Brian?
Yeah, he's just behind Sam Bennett in the petrol green of Bora Hansgrohe. A bit of pushing and shoving.
Yes, there is. He's going to have to be Bennett,
really
my
close.
gosh. Wow. Bennett just sandwiched there and losing a couple of places in the process too. But as you say, Fabio Jakobsen still there just off the back wheel of Sam Bennett, and we're starting to get ready to open up here. Uno X just trying to find a little bit of space around the outside. Dylan Groenewegen up against the barriers on the right-hand side as well. We're ready to open this one. It's Bora Hansgrohe who start to light things up at the front end, and we're open already. This is Max Walscheid right in the middle. Olaf Koy coming though. Koy has got Bennett on the outside. Koy is leading this. It's looking like Olaf Koy is going to take it right on the line. Wow, he's done it again. 15th win of the year for the youngster, 20 years of age, and some serious scalps once again. I said it back at the ZLM Tour, and it's not exactly a big statement because it's true. This is the future of world sprinting right here on your screen in front of you, and taking more big scalps. In his very young career, only just out of his teens, of course, Olaf Koy. That was impressive. Let's have a look at it again.
He was on his own. He's just down to the left of our picture now, but it's the melee behind, the kind of pushing and shoving. He almost gets taken out by Uno X, but the gap opens on the right-hand side, and it opens on the left-hand side as well. And Walscheid almost, gave him that, slipstream for a moment there. Sam Bennett was coming, but so was Jasper Phillips in the end. Good sprint from Walscheid. But he won that at a canter. Olaf Koy there left everybody in his wake, and Jakobsen, he finishes in 6th place there. Nizola was up there, but that was a well-deserved victory there from Koy. But a lot of shaking of the head behind, out of position, pushing and shoving. But when you've got that little bit of luck, it opened up on the right, opened up on the left, and he followed Walscheid through. It was a perfect run into the finish in there when it looked.
busy week for Olav Koy. 2 more races to go to bring his race to a conclusion. There's the top 10 confirmed for you. Koy the winner ahead of Jasper Philipsen, so many people's favourite today. Max Walscheid, Itmar Einhorn in the end getting 4th place ahead of Sam Bennett, Jakobsen, Groenewegen, Van Uden, Kanter and Milan Fretin.